The scent is amazing. No wonder why this is one of the most expensive perfume ingredients out there and one of the most commonly used in perfumery. Is this the ultimate essential oil blend for soap making? Today, we're gonna put down a very specific recipe under the microscope to find out. But what is it that makes essential oil blends a great blend for soap making? So we need to look at some criteria here. First of all, you want something that is long lasting, can still smell great after 6 months of when you start making the soap, and you want something that is stable in an alkaline environment and in a high temperature environment. Remember, saponification happens between oils and lye solution, and when those react, they react in high pH, in a high alkaline environment, and even if you make cold process or hot process soap, the temperature will always increase, and high temperature also leads to high volatility, which makes your essential oil blends evaporate faster. So you want something that is able to withstand these conditions and smell great even after a few months. And if you're new here, my name is Perry and I have a master's in chemical engineering and biotechnology. I've been working in the biotech industry for the past 5 years, focusing on skincare ingredients. And there's one thing I'm obsessed with: understanding formulation and the chemistry behind skincare ingredients and making all of my own skincare at home with the least ingredients possible. And before we start, if you want a soap making recipe that contains castor oil, shea butter, coconut oil and olive oil, and it also contains a very long-lasting, balanced and essential oil blend containing patchouli, pine and ylang-ylang, then comment blend and I will send to you as soon as I see your comment. Before we start, I want to talk about something very important. I want to talk about something called the IFRA, which stands for International Fragrance Association. Now, whenever you buy an essential oil or a fragrance oil, so remember, essential oils are natural, fragrance oils are synthetic. Whenever you buy this from a trusted soap making supplier, they always state the maximum amount of this essential oil that you can use in your skincare product. Whether this is a rinse on or rinse off product. So in the case of soap, this is a rinse off because you rinse it off with water afterwards. But if you were to make a lip balm or a deodorant, then it's very important to know the maximum amount of essential oil or fragrance oil you can add into this product, because of course it might cause sensitivity. I never go close to the maximum. I never even go to 50% of the maximum value, because I want to make sure that the portions I add are not going to cause sensitivity to anyone. So let's take a look at the essential oils and one synthetic ingredient that we're going to use today. And when you hear synthetic, you're like, Perry, I only want natural recipes. Trust me, you're gonna love that this ingredient is synthetic and it's not natural. Trust me, you're gonna understand in 5 minutes. So let's take a look at the ingredients. First of all, we're gonna start with Labdanum Absolute. We're gonna use 5% of that. Then we're gonna go ahead and use 25% of Ambroxan, which I'm gonna talk about in a minute. Then we're gonna use 35% of Lavender. Then we're gonna use 15% of Litsea cubeba, 10% of Bergamot, and 10% of black pepper essential oil. Now let's start with the base notes. The base notes are the substances that are of high molecular weight, and they will basically make our whole blend more long lasting. Labdanum is this very sticky resin that smells like very ambery and balsamic, and at the same time it has this sweet, leathery and woody undertone. It's a very nice oil to use. Actually, it's not an oil, this is an absolute, so it's as you will see later, is very, very thick. The next one is Ambroxan, and Ambroxan is a crystalline synthetic ingredient that gives this ambergris note. So basically, Ambroxan is the main substance in ambergris. Ambergris is this rare waxy substance that is produced in the digestive system of a sperm whale. And basically this substance, it floats in the ocean and ages or even years afterwards, it will wash out into the soil. And people would collect this and they would use it as one of the most expensive ingredients in perfumery to date. The problem is, during the height of the industrial whaling, sperm whales were actually hunted aggressively to get, for example, ingredients like ambergris that were found inside the animal. Luckily to synthetic chemistry, we are able to produce synthetic Ambroxan, which smells amazing. It's honestly one of the most amazing scents I've ever experienced. It's very musky. It smells like ocean breeze. It's very long lasting, very potent. It's one of my favorite ingredients, and it's very stable under alkaline environments in soap making. So as I said before, as you see here, the synthetic option is actually way better than the natural option because you do not have to hunt whales to get this. Then we have lavender, and lavender, you know lavender, it's very floral and herbal at the same time, and it blends perfectly with many other ingredients. Then we have Litsea cubeba, which is very citrusy, and it's one of these citrusy top notes that actually last. It doesn't evaporate as quickly as sweet orange essential oil or as lemon essential oil. Then we have bergamot, which is also very citrusy top note, and then we have black pepper essential oil that is spicy and it will add definition to our perfume. So let's go ahead and grab a scale, and when you're working with perfume ingredients, a scale, a double-digit scale is a must. So what I want to do first is that I want to grab a beaker, and the problem with Ambroxan is that it's actually a powder, it's solid. So we need to dissolve it first, and we do not want to dissolve it in ethanol or dipropylene glycol that you usually do in perfumery. It's something that we're gonna add in a skincare product like soap or maybe even deodorant. So we want to dissolve it in a carrier oil. And for this one, you can use any oil, any lightweight oil you want, like you can use olive oil, jojoba oil, or even rapeseed oil, for example. So we are gonna go ahead and add Ambroxan. So for this blend, I'm only making a small quantity. So we're using 25% Ambroxan, and I'm making only 4 grams of a total essential oil blend. So I'm gonna use only 1 gram of Ambroxan inside here. The scent is amazing. No wonder why this is one of the most expensive perfume ingredients out there and one of the most commonly used in perfumery. So we added the 1 gram of Ambroxan. I'm also gonna add 0.2 grams of Labdanum Absolute. Labdanum Absolute is quite thick, so it might be a bit difficult to add a bit. Let's see. So as you can see, it's thick like a resin. And we're adding 5% or 0.2 grams. So now we have this beautiful mix right here where you see the Ambroxan is not dissolved at all and neither is the resin. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use one of these. I'm gonna add it here to basically mix. That did take some time. I've been mixing for around 5 minutes now, but it's finally dissolved. So let's go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. So we're gonna go ahead and add 35% of lavender. Then we're gonna go ahead and add 10% of bergamot that will add this citrusy top note. Then we're gonna go ahead with Litsea cubeba, which is a very potent and long-lasting citrusy top note. From all the citrusy top notes, I would say this is my favorite one. So we're gonna go ahead with 15% of this. And then we're gonna go ahead with black pepper, and black pepper, a little goes a long way. It's spicy, it adds definition and character to your essential oil blend, but if you add a lot, it will overpower everything. So we're adding 10% here, which is still on the higher side, I would say. I feel like Ambroxan makes all the difference here. Ambroxan is very ocean, musky like substance. It's perhaps my favorite ingredient in perfumery. It's very long lasting, very stable under alkaline pH. Then we have Labdanum that adds this sweetness, resin, balsamic like scent. Then we have Lavender, which is, you know, lavender, it's herbal, it's floral, and it connects perfectly well with the citrusy top notes, Bergamot and Litsea cubeba. And then in the end we have black pepper to add some definition to our perfume ingredients. You can use this blend in soap making, but you can also use it in other products like deodorants. This would work perfectly fine in a deodorant. Let me know in the comments below your opinion about this essential oil blend, whether you like it or not, or what would you change about it. And if you want to go from an overwhelmed beginner to a confident soap maker that understands formulation and has control over what touches their skin, I have an ebook that contains 15 tested recipes, soap making and other skincare recipes, as well as many different essential oil blends. And the aim of the book is not for you to is not to teach you how to copy recipes only, but it also teaches you how to understand formulation and the chemistry behind soap making and skincare. I'm very grateful you stayed all the way to the end. I really appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time.